guys, CJ's here at PIM Center. Today, we're going to share some rehab exercises for frozen shoulder for all levels. If you're looking for a beginner entry, check out another video we exclusively made. Link is down in the description. There are many great exercises out there you can do to strengthen your arm and shoulder. So we just picked a few that might be overlooked by people, but in fact, they're pretty effective for frozen shoulder rehab. But first, let's take a look at the anatomy of the shoulder so we know what we're dealing with. Firstly, a shoulder consists of three parts: humerus, scapula, and clavicle. Everything on top of these bones are categorized as a part of the shoulder. If we take a crane truck for analogy, the scapula will be like the outrigger, the stabilizer of the truck, an area that anchors a lot of upper part muscles like infraspinatus or trapezius for stabilization, formation, and protection. The boom is where you see the humerus, the upper arm, exerting powers to move any weight from A to B. The last component of the crane's operation is the operator's cap. Similarly, the clavicle doesn't produce any force, but rather transmits force from the upper limb to the axial skeleton. Clavicle acts as a lock and a shield, locking the scapula to the axial skeleton so the arm can hang freely while protecting the underlying neurovascular structures that supply the upper limb. Such unique composition works together, allows us to climb, rotate, produce force, and many more. However, the limitations are also there due to their unique structure. When you raise your arm, the scapula has to adapt away from the midline of your spine to give way for the humerus to elevate. As the moving motion continues, the clavicle will have to rotate posteriorly relative to the thorax for the shoulder upward rotation. Understanding this, you will know that to do a proper shoulder activation, the clavicle must also be engaged throughout, while different bone and muscle rotations will take place for you to be able to raise your hands up to the top. A lot of people get stuck at frozen shoulder rehab because they don't know the full body activation is actually the first thing needed to do so the body is properly ready to do any type of rotation during an exercise. Frozen shoulder condition is like a checkmate move against your shoulder because the problem sits to the center of the shoulder, namely the glenohumeral joint. Regardless of any direction the scapula or humerus can make, this ball and socket joint governs the shoulder range of motion. Being glued in between the layers of fascia, muscle, tendon, and ligament, the adhesive shoulder joint cannot function effectively anymore, and therefore causing the upper part muscles to weaken significantly over time. To overcome this challenge, you need to relearn the body activation, do a lot of joint preparation, and strength training. In the process, you will increase shoulder range of motion and teach both of your ball and socket joints to bear more weight. During your downtime, you need to maintain massage and stretching as part of your body care routine to loosen up the tightness of your shoulders. For the strength training, we will divide into under 90-degree progression and over 90-degree progression for an easy follow guide. We'll briefly talk about the body activation and joint preparation, but a more in-depth of these two topics are covered in the beginner video of frozen shoulder rehab. Full body activation. Since the body itself is dynamic, the activation in real life is also very fluid, meaning that the ratio of putting force into activation on your body always changes depending on your scaly positioning versus the movements you do. For example, to do a bicep curl, the shoulder activation when your hands are at the lowest level is about 50-50, neutral to hold the barbell. But when you move up the barbell, both sides of your clavicles will have to push down even more to go against the weight of your movement while maintaining the integrity of the shoulder activation till your hands reach to the highest level. If it fails to do so, you will lose your conscious control on the muscle expansion, so the gain might be ineffective to that specific group of muscles, while increasing the chances to get injured. And since these are rehab exercises we are doing, they can practically be used as preventative exercises to grow your shoulders stronger and be more flexible. Joint preparation. Simply put, the whole goal of joint preparation is to move the joints to their full range of motion, so the inflexibility will become flexible again. At the same time, the joints are learning how to bear more weight evenly. Moreover, we highly believe that the more body activation and joint preparation you do, the shorter the rehab journey is. For starters, your shoulder joints might not be able to move over 90 degrees right away. So this kind of joint preparation will be very helpful to revitalize the joint and surrounding tissues. Take your time on doing joint preparation. And if you have done any surgery on your shoulder in the past, full body activation and joint preparation should be your main exercises, because often your upper muscles need greater stability and inner strength than other individuals to protect the once opened wounded area. Using very minimal power of your strength with very light exercises as workload can open up and strengthen the tissues around your shoulders at cellular level. You will get to work on weighted exercise when your shoulders are strong enough. Today we'll be working on 1 mobility, 2 under 90 degree exercises, 2 transitional, 2 over 90 degree exercises, and 1 additional just for the advance. It might take you months to get to over 90 degree exercise, but that's okay. Now with the correct technique, you can achieve. Move the bottle. Move the bottle exercise is to use a comfortable surface as a leverage, so you can focus on training your arm range of motion laterally while examining the movements of scapulars and improving the overall arm strength. You can put a towel underneath your forehead or the chest to make yourself more comfortable in performing this exercise. Move the bottle from 0 degree to under 9 degree, come back down. If you are comfortable, move it over 9 degree to 180 degree, then come back down again. If you find 70 degree is your limit, then right below your limit that is in pain, do isometric hold for 5 seconds. Come back down, do it for reps. The repetition will help loosen up your underarm. You will soon be able to take on more weight. After you have done the face down, do the face up. When you are good with it and want to make the exercise more challenging, leave the bottle and your feet up from the ground so your scapulars can learn how to resist more tension while still maintaining the mobility of your arms. Don't forget to maintain full body activation throughout this exercise. Alternatively, you can move the weight plate. We are using 0.5 kilo for demonstration. To speed up your rehab process and avoid injury, you need to be able to imagine a ball shape on your glenohumeral joint on the back of your head while doing the exercise, so you can feel how the movement of your joints turn to let your arm move to the direction you intended to. Weighted shoulder external rotation. The shoulder rotation is something that even healthy people will neglect. However, this part of the shoulder will help improve the stability of the shoulder tremendously. For starters, you can lay on the ground and do the shoulder rotation with a very light weight first. Keep your elbow tucked in, otherwise you will use the arm extension to make the effort. We don't want to do that. We're gonna keep it as shoulder external rotation as possible. Use a towel to help the tuck if needed. Slowly you can move up to seated position and then standing position. With the standing position, you can use a resistant band to strengthen the shoulder as well. Easy straight arm push-up. If you stretch your arms often and keep feeling the lockout arm position, you will come to a point where you find the pushing motion is not hurting your shoulder joint or the rotator cuff. Then you can work on easy straight arm push-up. First, you want to feel the Y position, the shoulder position, and the closed position at a very high inclined stand. Just to hold the position for time is one way to gain strength. The key to gain overall pushing strength is to train the lower level. Higher level, and full range level separately. Starting from the bottom, slowly extends to 90 degrees, which is the middle. Repeat the sequence to train your forearm and bicep folding ability. Do the 180 to 90 degree, start from the very end and move to the middle. After you have mastered both of these range, combine them to a full range push-up with different hand positions. After you are comfortable in doing a high incline stand, you can challenge yourself to make your push-up position more horizontally. The different arm and body placements are to train your pectoral muscles and the ball and socket joints in how they respond to the mechanical stress. Rowing. As you gather enough strength with your shoulders, you'll be able to do the row. Rowing is the first step for you to do your first pull-up. Just remember to keep massaging, stretching, and resting at your convenience. To do the rowing, you want to have a solid body activation. Your clavicles and scapulars are slightly pressed and expanded. Core, feet, everything is activated. For easier demonstration, we bring the bar to the waistline, but you can also train to bring the bar to your chest line. It is the same as the push-up. You have 3 different grips: the Y, the shoulder length, and the close. You should do isometric hold for time a set to gather enough strength before any pulling. Until you're ready, repeat the lower level, higher level, and full range level sequences. All of these levels should be trained with 3 different grips. Do it slowly to build up your pulling strength. Rolling. Rolling is a good strategy for actively opening the sticky shoulder part. Often, after the injury, the ball and socket joint dimension might be uneven already. One is like slightly open sideways, even at rest. Another one is like always leaning to one side because this is a good side and it subconsciously wants to compensate for the imbalanced muscles you have on your injured arm. This is just one of many scenarios. So grab a ball on your palm to make it easier to feel and rotate. Do internal rolling to specifically feel about opening your glenohumeral joints and try to rotate them as balanced as possible. Now onto the external rolling. Do full body activation and grab a ball on your palm again. You try to swing your arm in their full range of motion while having your neck muscles, rotated calf, deltoids, biceps, triceps wrapped around your shoulder bones to do the swing. Slowly and consistently, you will eventually be able to pass over 90 degrees and get to 180 degrees. Embrace the power of rolling. Pull down. After you're confident enough with raising your arms overhead, you can then do over 90 degree pull down. You can have a chair and do the pull down motion. Do at your comfort level. Slowly and consistently, you can perform this exercise with straight arms without problem. The goal of this exercise is to train your deltoid, rotated calf, and trapezius muscles rotations when going upward. You're gonna do all exercises in perfect form, meaning that full body activation plus handling the pressure via range of motion at your 100% control, not just do the reps. Perfect form over rep, anytime, any day. If only you can do 1 rep with perfect form, it's way better than you can do 10 reps but with a bad form that can eventually lead you back to injury again. Take your time with this pull down exercise, full range of motion, and keep engaging with body activation and muscle tensions throughout. Passive active hand. After the pull down exercise is easy enough for your shoulder joints to execute, You can do passive and active hang to fully strengthen the elevated shoulders. First, it is a great balance for your shoulders to equally fight against pressure. Second, whenever you hang, you're holding on your dead weight. If you're 70 kilo, you're holding on to 17 kilo on the bar. This is madly impressive for a frozen shoulder patient to get to this point. The passive hang is relaxed, meaning it is under tension but not forcefully to produce force. You allow the shoulders to raise up towards your ears and let gravity do its work. This passive hang is the best for stretching your shoulder tendons and ligaments, yet building rotator cuff and grip endurance so you can hold on the bar for longer. Find a bar that suits your height. You first want to perform full body activation. Even though the passive hand is relaxed, you're actually still very much engaging. You can hold it for 1 to 3 seconds and come back down. Work your way up to hold for 5, 15, 30 seconds and so on. The active hand, you actively bring your scapulars downward, away from the ears. This in turn allows your upper trapezius to lean a bit more backward. Your upper muscles are now actively fighting against the weight of your body and gravity. At the same time, you have more range of motion to allow the arms and the back muscles to pull yourself upward under such tension and hold it for 1 to 3 seconds and then come back down. Even after you left the bar, keep your body tension tight until you feel it can be released. So you are also training yourself to control the post-exercise body tension. Pull up. The additional exercise is pull up. This might be a tough move for you right now, but if you keep working on your strength and mobility, eventually you will define the art and do your first pull up. If you can active hang for 15 seconds without pain on your shoulders and have done your rolling with perfect form, at least 10 reps without problem, then you're ready for the pull-up. First, you actually want to do it very slowly with proper form. You can do the full pull-up and get a feel about the shoulder range of motion before getting on a bar. Now with the bar, you can do full body activation, then transform from passive hang to active hang. From there, use your back muscles and arm muscles to pull yourself up. It is okay if you can only complete halfway. Come back down with absolute 100% control. As long as you are in the proper form, you can quickly build the strength you need from that foundation. Keeping your head looking up will make the pulling much easier. Eventually, you'll be able to do a regular pull-up with no problem. One way to make it easier is to start from the very top and eccentric down to the bottom. That's it for the video, guys. We hope this video helps you speed up the frozen shoulder recovery. Take your time and set the video apart into different chapters if needed. Having smaller and clear goals will ensure you'll be recovered quicker than you think. Share this video with a friend or a family member who needs to hear it as well. Take care now. God bless.